Hi guys, this is Mel, and thank you for tuning in for the first official video for the TV show The 100, which returned today, Thursday, January 21st, 2016 on the CW with episode 301 titled Wanheda Part 1. And guys, it's only been about 15 minutes since episode ended, and I'm just so excited to get started to talk about this with you guys. So with that said, it's going to be a little bit longer for my video. I'm going to try to do it 15 minutes. With that, I'm going to talk about anything new, what I thought was most surprising, or basically like all the other videos. You'll catch on quick if you're brand new to my whole series. But let me get the timer started for the 100, and let's begin talking 301. I'm so excited it was here. The whole time it was happening, that episode, I had goosebumps running up my arm. My heart was racing. I felt so excited from the beginning to the very end, and I'm still excited about it after it's done airing. It's been a long wait, and I'm definitely not disappointed. I kind of wish that it wasn't a two-parter, just because then at least I'd get a semi-finished feeling instead of leaving it on a cliffhanger, since it is a two-parter. Then again, a lot of the episodes for the 100 kind of leave you on a cliffhanger, so can't really complain. But so let's get right to it. So something new that we learned in this episode. First off, the timeline. We're starting off 3 months after the season 2 finale, so 3 months after the whole Mount Weather thing. So that's 3 months from 216, and then Miller made a comment about it being 4 months since the arc itself came down to the ground. So 4 months since the season 1 finale and 3 months since the season 2 finale. So all of season 2 took only 1 month. So just keep that in mind, future reference. But I really like how they snuck that in there to give us a timeline reference and everything. So that was great. Speaking of the arc, though, it's not Camp Jaha anymore. They've now named it Arcadia, and they've managed to build their own little buildings, little like huts and stuff. They have gardens growing within the walls of the Arcadia boundary. They managed to acquire some vehicles. They've enhanced so that they're protected when they go out on scouting missions, and they actually have a map of all of the surrounding areas that they've labeled off into sections, actually. And there are 2 sections that they mentioned in this episode: Sector 7 and Sector 4. Now, Sector 7 is said to be really close to the Ice Nation, and Sector 4 is where Kane goes off with a meeting with Indra. So through that meeting, we find out about Clark. So I'll get to that later, though. But from the people with the arc, we find out that Octavia has actually learned a lot about the Grounder language in the last 3 months. She actually acts as a translator when she goes on a mission with the rest of her fellow former delinquents to Sector 7. And I really like that she's not the only one that has learned to understand the Grounder language. Clark does that as well, understandably why, and I'll get back to that later. We found out that Jasper isn't really coping that well, especially with Maya's death. He's definitely drinking a lot, and he's putting himself in very dangerous situations. He has a knife pulled to his throat, and it's get to the point that it's almost bleeding, and he's just smiling, laughing. It's like he doesn't have a care in the world. It's really frightening, for sure. Raymond is also in some pain, especially with her leg. Apparently, the whole turbine explosion back in 215, it jostled something inside her leg, which has brought the pain back, and it's been back, and she's been hiding it for the past 3 months. So there's that. We see a lot of the way she's struggling with that as well. So unfortunately, those 2 are broken. Very sad. But we see Bellamy. He's trying to take the leadership, not necessarily take the leadership role, but he's trying to make a difference in his position within the arc. He's helping with sparring lessons. He's as kind of like an instructor or like an assistant to Lincoln in those classes, which we saw Harper and Monroe in attendance to that. We see him going on scouting missions and stuff like that. So I really like that he's very incorporated in how Arcadia works. He has the guard uniform back and everything, and he even gives one to Lincoln to show that he's earned his place and that it means different in this place. So there's that. We also see a lot of moments between him and Monty, especially when they talk about Jasper. So it was really great to see those 2 communicating again, since the only time they really got to talk to each other was at the end of season 2 when they were both in Mount Weather. So yeah, Just one moment. Sorry if there was a little skip in the video audio. I had to check something quickly. So Murphy, we found out that Murphy was isolated for 3 months, and through that he has all these access to these videos from right around the time where the radiation nuclear explosions happened. So we get a little bit of that. We also see a different version of Jaha when he finally comes out of the containment bunker. So there's that as well. We see some new faces, actually, that have been teased, but we actually get to see them for the first time. We get Nahila, I think that's how you say it, Nahila, and she runs the trading post that Clark goes to, and she happens to be Clark's lover. Don't really call her a girlfriend because I don't know if it's going to move forward past that, but definitely Nahila has known who Clark really was for the past however long that she's been going to that trading post. So there's that. Another face is Gina. Apparently that's Bellamy's girlfriend, and we see her a few times in the episode, not only with Bellamy but with Raven as well. And then there's Roan. He's a bounty hunter that's looking for Clark, or Wanheda, and he manages to get his hands on her at the very end, so that's a little troubling as well. And we also get to learn about the legend of Wanheda and the fact that she's known as the commander of death. And in the Grounders community, they believe that if you kill a commander, you acquire their power. So that's why a lot of people want Clark Wanheda, because they believe that if they kill her, then they will acquire the title of Commander of Death and stuff like that. Okay, so most shocking moment of the episode, it has to be how much has changed in the last 3 months. It's so much more intense. It's so much more in depth. It's really great to see Arcadia immersing themselves in this new world, trying to adapt and everything, and then also see how they are navigating this new world around them. Sorry, another thing. One moment. Sorry, I keep getting these alerts on my phone and it's just interrupting, and I can't really ignore them at the moment. So anyways, done with shocking moments, the fact of how much everything has changed. Top 3 favorite moments. The first one that's definitely my favorite has to be that rover ride between the... There it goes again. Anyways, the rover ride between the team delinquents, the former delinquents, that includes Bellamy, Miller, Monty, Jasper, Raven, and Octavia on the horse. What I really like about this is it's them being united again, despite Jasper being withdrawn, but them being united together, taking on a mission together, and then just enjoying the moment when they're just singing along as if they're on a road trip together. I really liked that feeling, and the fact that they were really getting into it just for a moment, just enjoying the fact that they are still kids, and the fact that they're enjoying this trip together, even though there are some stakes behind the mission they're going up against. And that's before they found the signal that led them to the farm station that was inside the Ice Nation. So that brought a lot of other issues, but I really like that scene between them. And apparently in that little scene, we learned that Monty is originally from Farm Station, and so is Miller's boyfriend. So that was a fun little tidbit we got to learn about the two of them. So there's that. Another top favorite moment for me had to be Clark, the red-headed Clark, as I'm going to call it. Apparently there goes my theory of it being past and present versions of Clark, of being distinguished by her hair color. But I really liked how she's transformed herself to be this grounder so that she can stay hidden from all the people who want her dead. And it seems that she's really adapted to the fact that she has to take care of herself. She has to fend for herself and stuff like that. And while it might seem ruthless in the fact of how much she's transformed, I really like the way she did it, or that fact that she could even do it to begin with. She's become stronger. She's become dependent on herself. And I really liked she's come as far as she has, even though she believes that she's punishing herself for all the death that she's caused. And the last thing I liked about this episode was all the grounder history we got to learn. We got to learn what they believe in the legend of Wanheda. We got to learn about their trading posts. We got to learn about the different nations, and we're going to learn a lot more about it for sure, but I really like that already into it, we're already learning about this. I thought we were going to learn about this in season 2, but we got into Mount Weather and all that. So I really like that we're finally getting into the grounder territory, history and language and all that. And their mythology and stuff like that is really great, and I can't wait to see it unfold. Top 3 peeved moments. The first one is just the fact that I have to wait a week for part 2 to see how this part of the episode storyline ends. It's not just a regular cliffhanger, it's the fact that it is a purposeful cliffhanger because there is a part 2. So the story's not really over. Next peeved moment, it has to be Jasper, and I know that he's grieving. I get it. He lost Maya. It's only been 3 months. But I'm really worried that he's willing to go to dangerous lengths and not care about his own safety. He laughed when he had a knife at his throat and it was like digging into him like that. He laughed at that. He was gleeful for that. He wanted that to happen. And then he was unhinged when he went to the bar, and then he actually tackled Shawn Mendes's character from the piano because it was stuff that was, I believe it was stuff from Mount Weather that they brought back here, and it's not like he just lost Maya. It's like he lost everyone in Mount Weather, even though we didn't know anymore. He's taking it really, really hard. And I don't know if it's because he's still grieving or the fact that he's really not adjusting very well. I don't know what to make of it, but I'm really sad for Jasper because he was always so optimistic about everything. And even Monty is worried. And Jasper's pulling away from his best friend. It's just, I don't know how to feel about that. So there's that issue. So what will I remember most about this episode? Team Delinquent. Especially that Range Rover moment. But I really like how far the former delinquents have come, how much of a unit they are together. And I really like that we got to see that. And that they're included in missions. They're not just considered the kids anymore. They're actually being considered for stuff. So I really like that. Okay, so random questions quickly. First one, how did Clark get her red hair in this world? I know they probably did it back before they figured out how to do it nowadays, but I'm not really a history buff. So it was just interesting how in this world she was able to do that. Just interesting. Next question, who set up the trap that kept Indra, Kane, Bellamy, and Monty stuck in that rover between the 2 tree trunks? I'm thinking Ice Nation, but I didn't think that they were in Ice Nation territory, so I'm a little worried to see who caused that. But it was definitely meant for them, since it was the cut tree trunks were very strategic in spacing to fit a rover in there, or fit a car. I keep calling it a rover. Next question, what exactly does Jaha mean with that pill that he gave Murphy? He kept saying that it could take away the pain, the grief, it could take away all the negative emotions, and that will bring him to the city of light. But then Murphy made a great point, if you take away all the bad, you take away what he is. But then also, if you take away the bad, you pretty much take away all the good either, because you need to feel the good in order to feel the bad, and vice versa, so that you know what it is that's good, because you already know what is bad, type thing. But how does a pill do that? I just have a really bad feeling that that's going to be the next bad thing, that people are going to want to take the pill to not feel their pain anymore. Especially Raven and Jasper are worried about what happens if they find out about that. Now that Roan has found Clark, next question for him, what do you think is going to happen now? It's definitely going to be the focus of part 2, but I'm worried about what he's going to do. Is he going to kill her? Is he going to get the bounty? Is the bounty to kill her? I don't know, but he definitely doesn't seem like he's definitely a no mercy type of guy from the looks of it, so I'm a little worried. Last question. That tattoo on Nahila's back, I was definitely wrong about it being Clark. I hoped it was Clark, but it's not. But that tattoo, were those strokes meant to be the kills that she made? Because they're kind of in a crisscross type thing. Are they just meant to represent the different kills that Nahila made? Or they're just some cool design? Because she did make a point of telling Clark that she has no marks on her back, which meant no kills. And then Clark even said that her back's not big enough for that. But then they show Nahila's back having the crisscross tattoo. So I'm wondering, does that mean that all those lines on her tattoo, individual lines on her tattoo, even though they're connected, means a separate kill? So yeah, I'm just wondering if there's more significance behind that too, even though I really like the design of that. Okay, so predictions quickly. For the 302 promo that they just shown immediately after, we do see a blonde Clark with pink streaks at the very end. So wondering if they just dunked her head in water and washed all the red out, because I don't think it's a time thing where her blonde hair grew out and you get the red fading out. And there's the alarm if you can hear it. But Clark is captured, as we saw at the end, so we're going to deal with that. She definitely brings up her reputation as the commander of death as she's trying to get out from her containment situation. We definitely see that people from the arc do have eyes on a captured Clark with the gag in her mouth. So I'm thinking it's Bellamy and Kane and Monty and Indra who see her, but definitely see how that goes down, and I can't wait for that. So if that's the case, maybe we'll see Clark back in Arcadia at the end of part 2. Who knows? I hope so. I really don't want it dragged out too long that she's away, since she's technically already been gone for 3 months. One moment again. Sorry, more interruptions. I'm almost done though. So I mentioned Clark almost going back. Another thing, I think the whole season wise, I think there's going to be some struggles between Lincoln and Octavia, just on the fact of where they belong. Lincoln wants to try to live peacefully within Arcadia. Octavia doesn't want that. She actually wants to run off with Lincoln and go get refuge in Luna's clan. But Lincoln made a point of saying that Luna is actually in hiding. So she wants to be away from the arc, understandably so. Lincoln wants to stay and make peace, so there's going to be, I definitely see some issues, because she definitely had an issue with him getting the guard uniform, so that's going to be a problem. And it's enough of a problem that Octavia is choosing to sleep in the woods as opposed to her bunker with Lincoln in the arc. So there's that. Hopefully, Farm Station was mentioned. Another prediction here. It was mentioned. Hopefully, we'll actually see it or see some people from Farm Station. What is it possible that the people from Farm Station, if they actually did end up in Ice Nation, could they be prisoners of the Ice Nation and they just don't think anyone else from the Ark is alive or anything? Maybe some Stockholm Syndrome type stuff. You never know. Hopefully we do see Farm Station again. I really hope Monty's parents are still alive. I want to see that. And Nathan's boyfriend. I want to see who that is. So there's that. Also, I think Raven and Jasper's pain is only going to get worse. I don't want it to happen, but it looks like it's going down that pathway for sure. And also, I think Jaha is going to return to Arcadia with Murphy, and he's going to bring the whole City of Light spiel and that whole, possibly that pill to take away emotions. Some people might take it, some people might not, but I think those in pain will probably take it. Also, another curious thing, though, Jasper specifically mentioned the contraceptive implants, that there was going to be surgeries to take those out. So if they've mentioned that they do have those specifically, then maybe there might be some pregnancy stuff somewhere in the season, just to show that, yes, that's still an issue for them. It's not that they're completely ignoring the fact like you would if you were dealing with vampires, since they can't have kids and stuff like that. So, like, at least I found it very interesting that he actually specifically mentioned those implants and that they made such a big deal of it. So I really think that that's going to come back later on in the season. But that's about it. So what did you guys think of this season 3 premiere? I was excited for it. It's true. I've been waiting for that for so long, and I was very pleased with it. I can't wait for next week for it to return. But yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Also, like this video if you want to see more. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and share this with anyone else you know is a fan of the 100. Get them started to watch the new season. Bring up the fan viewership so that we can get more to come. Apparently, there's more story to tell, and even I've read somewhere that Jason Rothenberg, the creator, he has plans for season 4, so I really want to see season 4, and we got to get that by bringing those views up. So pass the word to anyone to watch the 100. It's definitely not something you've seen in a very long time for sure. Also, if you want more information, check out my Tumblr. Link for that will be down below, specifically for the 100 as a whole or the episode itself. Link for that below. I reblog everything I come across. The 100 was pretty much the most reblogged series I did over the summer. And it's not that I go looking specifically for those. It's just always the ones that keep popping up on my dashboard. So there's definitely a lot of stuff there. There's up to 304 episode synopsis. So 302, 303, and 304, those synopses have been released already. So I do have them reblogged on my Tumblr if you want to check those out. GIFs, dialogues, anything like that. Certain ship pairings as well if you have a specific one. I'll tell you now, I am a Bellamy Clark, so Bellark fan, so I do have more of those than anything else. But you never know, I could have your favorite pair, so check those out. And that's about it. So this is Mel, wishing you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Thank you for watching. I hope you come back next week to watch more of my views on the 100. So until then, see you guys. Bye.